the best part of my day!
What is going on, fam? We are back. Well, we're not really back. This is an older video. Paul is still in the wind. No real updates on Paul. He hasn't touched the playlist in a while, so and we leave the breaking Trump news on the assassination attempt to bring you even bigger news. Paul B has updated the playlist as of yesterday, so he's still kicking around. No idea what he has removed, or added, or changed. We'll keep you updated. Yeah, Paul is taking a hiatus. To what that means, who knows? I am trying to keep up to date on anything going on in and around his local area, but if he's gone into the wilderness outside of Minnesota, then it's not really, I'm not going to really like service anything until I know where he went and what was the state and what was the area. I might be able to find something more relevant to Paul's story, but yeah, we're going to go back a little bit. We're going to go back into, I'm going to say, May 11th. Change of plans. Well, what are we changing up here, Paul? All right, hit us.
Dear diary.
Dear diary.
I don't have words that can.
Oh yeah. I know what this video is. So yeah, you can see. I think one of his teeth. I think on maybe the top row is maybe infected or swollen. His cheek is swelling up, something fierce. I think this might be the tooth he needed to extract.
Possibly express how much pain I'm in. Can't be done. When I woke up this morning, the swelling had grown so much in this jaw. It covers all the way from the back to my throat, almost up to the front of my chin. That whole thing is a big, huge, thick ball of infection. Anybody who sees me thinks I got in a fight or something. It's just complete. One side looks completely different than the other, like Frankenstein's monster. When I woke up, and pretty much all day until about an hour ago, this whole jaw has been numb. The same feeling you have at a dentist when they give you Novocaine. That's what this entire jaw felt like, that same sensation of numbness, but where the tooth is broken, and it doesn't seem to be the nerve. The nerve, I think, is already dead. That tooth had already been dead. That excruciating pain is still there right in that central location. The infection, if I touch that hurts horribly, just totally tender. But the jaw itself is numb, and my tongue. When I woke up, I couldn't move my tongue. I couldn't get my tongue over there. I couldn't control it. I've never had anything like this. This is completely unlike anything I've ever experienced because I've always been able to keep my immune system up, but I can't do that. The last 2 months, I can't have any hygiene. I can't have any nutrition because of human resources, because of my employer who decided to murder me. And I should put it on the record now while I can.
How the hell did he get out of this? Because he definitely was in a considerable amount of pain. So did he just do open surgery on himself? I feel like he did extract the tooth himself because he shows it, but I'm also thinking he might have like gone to the ER or something like that, and got it extracted through a more conventional method.
When I got called to Human Resources and was told that this backstabber had filed a harassment complaint that I had to respond to, but they wouldn't tell me what the complaint was, and they still have never, ever done that. One of the first things out of my mouth, I don't know when, but one of the very first things out of my mouth was, "This is murder." And there's a reason why I actually say things. There's a reason why. The problem with this group of utter incompetence and corruption is that they're offended by the fact that you said it. They don't actually listen to what you said. What I said is, "This is murder." You would think somebody would take that seriously.
Again, Paul, without really doing a deep dive into the way you talk and the verbose verbiage and the way that what you say and like how people should read what comes out of your mouth isn't really a conventional way of speaking. So without sitting them down and like saying, all right, this is why Paul says this, and this is why Paul says that, you might understand it this way, but what he's actually trying to say to you, let me translate, let me break it down so you get a little bit of a better understanding. They can't do that in one moment. They're just thinking you're being dramatic, which you are, but also they don't understand exactly what you mean by that. What is the larger implications for Paul? No, they're just saying like, all right, Mr. Drama Theatre Man, we don't need all the, Academy Award winning acting. You're being fired, you're being let go, you need to leave.
You would think, because I knew for a fact there's absolutely nothing you can file a harassment claim about. There was nothing there. I didn't do anything. There's nothing. Zilch, nada, zero, nothing. So the fact that she filed that after she'd spent all those months over Christmas apparently trying to drive me to suicide, or at the very least, engaging in human torture, and apparently loving it. As soon as I heard she filed a harassment complaint where there was...
Apparently loving it. Like, was there anything to really back up that claim? He's convinced that she was getting like sexual gratification, or at least at the very least some sort of gratification from his suffering when she kind of turned him down over Christmas for like whatever the Christmas dinner thing was, which really hurt his feelings. So yeah, I just wonder, like, where does he get that idea that she was filled with a sexual glee from his utter utter depression, like this, like destruction and depression, the fallout from her basically declining his advances.
There was no harassment just because I gave her the gift that she gave me permission to give her. I knew what was going on. I knew exactly what was going on, and I spoke those words. This is murder. And the human resource person there in our local office complained about the fact that I said...
He sure is jaw-jacking. Like, I know I've had like some like teeth issues and like jaw issues where you do get like that Novocaine effect, and you're in such pain you don't even want to talk. Like, talking is the worst thing you can do. All you can do is go, yes, okay, yeah, I don't want to talk right now. Okay, I just want to be quiet because I have too much to talk.
Said that, but they never paid any attention whatsoever to what it is that I said, and there's a reason why I said it. These people never ever listen to anything I said. They're always worried about what I said or how I said it, but they've never once shown any concern for what it is that I actually say. What I said was, this is murder. That should have raised an alarm that got everybody on the phones. I mean, before that...
Yeah, it would get alarms going in the wrong direction for you, Paul.
Day was over. They should have had external attorneys involved. They might have even, I mean, maybe not yet, but they should have at least been in preparations possibly to get law enforcement involved. Nobody was paying attention to what I was saying here, how dangerous this person is.
Yeah, like law enforcement. Yeah, you could possibly, like, they might have got their like internal security ready to go, because they were like, we're gonna walk this guy out of here and gonna make sure the young woman is maybe she's left the building for the day, so Paul can't just come out and fly into a rage.
Nobody was paying any attention, and nobody ever did. They ended up just firing me without ever talking to me and without giving me a reason. So now this is where I'm at, 2 months later. I can't describe the pain. I took Advil about 40 minutes ago. These seats are not meant to be slept in. I can't sleep in these seats. When you have a toothache, the way these seats are contoured is such that they hit the plexus in your back that goes straight to the nerves in your jaw and your neck. That's why I always have such bad neck aches sleeping in here. But it also goes to the ones in your jaw. But I have this infection here. So the shape of the seat itself down here in my lumbar, the shape of the seat itself is triggering tremendous pain here. And I can't do anything about it. And again, these people never listen to a word I say, so they don't understand what I'm talking about. When they put me in that hotel for a week as a cover...
Wait, I might have a solution there, but it might not be better because you can't lay down. But my feeling would be clear all the shit out, put it in the front or put it in the boot if there's room. I'm guessing there's no room in the boot. It's probably full. So at least clear that out, throw that all in the front, and then just lay down. It might not be the best thing for your back, but it might relieve that tension that's like shooting into your jaw. Why wouldn't you do that? Surely.
Your ass move. What they didn't realize is how painful that was to be in that hotel. For the first, I mean, almost for the entire, I was there, I think, 9 days. I was there for 7, yeah, I think 9 days. It was probably up to 7 or so before I could feel comfortable laying in that bed. My back is molded in the shape of a car seat. It hurt so bad to lay on that bed. Nobody gets this. They think, oh, nice comfortable bed, he's going to have a great time. No, it hurt like hell, and I couldn't get out of bed. The only way...
So, like, what is the answer there? Like, do you need the reclined seat in the Cougar with that he had a little more space. He could recline back, and he had a lot more space just to like kick out a little bit more. So is that the only thing that would do in this? So he can't lay down, he can't be in this seat, but maybe in the Cougar setup, it would have been better. I don't think anything would have been better. Nothing could solve this situation right now.
I could get out of bed was to do this thing and keep rolling myself until I finally had enough momentum to roll myself out of bed and put my feet on the floor. Nobody understands what I'm going through, and none of these people would ever listen when I tried to tell them. And now I've got this. Now I spent the whole day suffering in absolute agony from this, and feeling it, and just feeling how huge this is. Just massive. I mean, I have these, and I can't find them, but I have these heat packs. You open them up, and they get warm in the winter. This thing is like the size of 4 of those heat packs stacked on top of each other, all the way. This is how big it is. This is how big it is. I'm putting my hands around it right now. If I cut my hand, this whole mass fits in the entire cup of my hand from here to down to here. This is how big this is. And it's getting bigger. It isn't getting smaller. and I have nothing I can do about it. They took away my health insurance, and I've never used health insurance, and I can't without an address anyway. So the health insurance was pointless to begin with. The only reason I had health insurance is if I had a heart attack or some extreme trauma where an ambulance took me to the hospital and I couldn't say no, and I end up with some huge massive bill. That's the only reason I had health insurance. Well, in the beginning it was because of that stupid Obama mandate, but thank goodness that was gotten rid of. But these people took away health insurance, so I can't do anything about this. Advil is no match for this. My understanding is that a tooth infection of this magnitude is in fact life-threatening, and I'm feeling it. I am feeling.
Yeah. So it's all, I guess, all those nerves and stuff. That's like it's directly. I don't want. I want to say it's like a main line through to the heart.
Feeling it, and the problem here is that all along I have absolutely, positively not planned to die in Minnesota. I know where I want to go. I've looked into this. I have to make sure I do not die in Minnesota.
All right, so he's looked into this, and I want to say he had the place picked out. He had the state, he had the wilderness area picked out and ready to go. So it wasn't a knee-jerk thing. It wasn't just I'm going to open up Google Maps and spin it around the area until I find where I want to go. He had the place picked.
Not only do they have the most incompetent and corrupt Attorney General's office that I'm aware of, there may be others out there, but it's horrible in any event. It's just a terrible, awful.
At some point, he must have hinted at the state. He must have hinted what state he wanted to go to.
Attorney General's office here. All they do is want to put police officers in prison. The people who risk their lives to protect everybody. They're sick degenerates over there. But I've got to get the federal authorities involved, and I have to die in another state. There has to be interstate issues to make sure that I get justice against this backstabber and the company. The company's based in New Jersey, the backstabber's in Minnesota. The company set up this front company here in Minnesota, so technically that's Minnesota. I cannot die in Minnesota. There will be no justice because the federal authorities will not be involved. So now that I have this, which is... I'm at the point now, after going to the bathroom right before I made this video and seeing this for the first time, how massive, how deformed my face is. Now that I've seen it, I know how serious this is. This can kill me. And I can't die in Minnesota, but I can't...
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, it does look like someone's rocked him and he's just got like a big abscess, pus-filled, and probably very infected too. How did he get out of this? I'm pretty sure he must have gone to the ER. That doesn't go away by just like taking Advil and Tylenol. Like that doesn't go away from that. I don't know if the body can completely resolve that on its own.
Take this car where I want it to die. And if I do, how am I ever going to get back? This screws everything up. In Wisconsin...
This is where he's stealing the paper towels from. So he's ripping this open maybe at night and just like grabbing... So the cleaner's coming in, replacing it, and he's just going and grabbing these paper towels out. That's my theory.
It isn't fundamentally different than Minnesota. It's just a political boundary. But in terms of Minnesota nice, it crosses the whole region. It even crosses into parts of Iowa. It's not tied to Minnesota per se. It's the region. They call it Minnesota nice.
Yeah, so I've heard that before. So it infects, like, I'm going to say the Midwest. So all those surrounding states also have their version of Minnesota nice. So does he need to get out of the Midwest entirely to be in a fake nice free zone?
I can't let Iowa have it. I can't let Wisconsin have it. I can't let Minnesota have it. It's got to be a state that has good relationship with federal authorities. So when they see these dog tags, they follow the instructions instead of blowing it off, like Minnesota would. I need them to take all the information I have in here about the backstabber and about this company, and I need them to take action and to get justice for me. But I am not in any way, shape, or form right now prepared to leave the state. Not in this car. I can't even drive. This car is a death trap. That was meant to be a one-way trip at the end. So I have no idea what to do. I can't...
Yeah, the problem was with the Ford Fusion was super unreliable. So when I was thinking about how the fuck does he get this car out of state, anywhere out of state? So I was like, oh, you got to go to Wisconsin because it was the quickest method to get out of state. But Wisconsin wasn't going to be good enough because that's just another it's another form of Minnesota nice in that state too. Like it's another state where that's just a thing. So he couldn't take the Ford Fusion quickly for I think it was like a less than an hour drive to this one spot that he could get into the wilderness and like prepare for that like Survivor Man scenario. He couldn't go there because it was just like going to be another state where, I guess they're not going to take his death seriously, and he wanted the federal. I guess he wants the feds involved, so it kicks it up into a federal investigation instead of a local investigation, because the local police would be some sort of fake nice or fake insincere, or they would really care enough about Paul's situation to do any due diligence. So it would just essentially, his story would be lost to time, and the dog tags would then just take it and go, whatever.
Die in Minnesota, and there will be no justice. You can't get justice in Minnesota. For all I know, this backstabber has family in the Attorney General's office. That's how much nepotism there is in this. For all I know.
What? So she's connected, and oh, I wonder, is that true? She has family in the local courts, or are we talking about national courts, like the Supreme Court? What are we talking about?
No, HR is related to her. I mean, nothing here makes any rational sense at all. Nothing.
What? What is that true? So the backstabber has ties to like an AG somewhere. I'm thinking like a local AG or a state AG, and she also has connections within New Jersey HR, family connections, or I mean.
So I have no idea what to do. I can't die in Minnesota, and there will be no justice. You can't get justice in Minnesota. For all I know, this backstabber has family in the Attorney General.
Oh, for all I know, so it's just speculation. Okay. One more time.
So I have no idea what to do. I can't die in Minnesota, and there will be no justice. You can't get justice in Minnesota. For all I know, this backstabber has family in the Attorney General's office. That's how much nepotism there is in this. For all I know, HR is related to her.
Okay, so yeah, pure speculation.
Nothing here makes any rational sense at all.
All right, scratch all that.
Nothing. These people have just completely ignored me as if I don't even exist, listen to everything that this liar has said from the beginning, and just poured their full cup of wrath on me for no reason. That kind of injustice needs to be rectified, and people need to be imprisoned for it. Oh, I can barely swallow. It's gone down to where it's starting to close up my throat. I mean, not much at all, but I can definitely feel it. And it's also gone up into my ear. My ears.
Yeah, like it becomes a real problem. Like once your throat closes in, and you're not in a great situation here. It's hot, and if the air is kind of thinner and you can barely breathe, and you're just passed out. Yeah, it's lights out for Paul.
Just now starting to hurt in the last couple of hours. And I'm very attuned to what goes on with my ears because I've had ear problems since I was born. I had tubes in my ears growing up. I know I'm very attuned to what's going on with my ears. This is bad. This is very, very, very bad what's happening here. And I can't do anything to stop it. I can't die in Minnesota. I will get no justice. I will get no... The news media here is so corrupt to the core. All they do is protect this Democratic government. In the 9 years I've been homeless, I've never been able to convince any of these people to even consider telling the truth about homelessness in Minnesota. They won't, the news media care, 11, even Fox. None of them. They're corrupt to the core. They just... All they do is protect the state government when it's Democrat.
Yeah, he doesn't really mention that much anymore because obviously he's got bigger fish to fry. So he moved on from all that, and AMS is now his target of his ire. His complete attention is captured by AMS, but all of what he just said previously was, it was the last season's arc,
So I got to figure out what to do because I'm gonna have to shift gears and end this earlier than I thought, and I don't even have all the videos for all the evidence yet. I have to put on video about the second drug test, the wake-up call that I did.
I like how this experience didn't really hasten the process. So he got over this, and there was like still another 2 months before he kind of like came. Oh, I say he ran out of money, so nothing really like informed the process. So he lost the tooth, he mended up, he healed up, he got reasonably okay. And yet he still's like spun his wheels for another 2 months before we've hit a hiatus.
On the website, I have to demonstrate how that does not in any way, shape, or form point a finger at this person, and yet they went berserk over it again, a second time in a row. Which tells you that they're being triggered by talk about hard drug users, when no one else is. That tells you what's going on right there. I've got so many other things I have to present for evidence. And if it comes down to the wire, where the end is here, I have to tell who this company is, and I have to trigger all the people in the music industry. I don't know what to do. I did not expect this early.
Yeah, you did. I guess at the very end you added them. Did it really change the discourse? No, not really. It was just always like everyone knew it, or like some people obviously followed the story, worked it out, but it wasn't the bombshell you thought it was.
I think the Advil's finally kicking in, but this is a horrible feeling. It's like a dentist shot me up with Novocaine since I woke up this morning. Woke up. I only slept for, an hour and a half at most before that. I can't swallow if I take a drink of liquid. I can't even tell if the liquid is in the side of the mouth when I eat. I can't tell. I can't feel if there's any food there. I have to go with my finger and dig around to see what food's there and move it over to the other side because I can't maneuver my tongue and get the food where I can chew it with the few teeth I have remaining. This is horrifying. I guess that's all I have to say.
Alright guys, that is the video. Another one in the can. No real news on Paul. It is what it is. I'm keeping the lookout for anything, new channels, doing search strings every day, but there's nothing really out there that I can find. If you do come across something that looks vaguely like it could be Paul, let us know in the comments down below. Or, yeah, anything of note in regards to maybe his situation, let us know. Otherwise, yeah, that will be it for today. He has updated that playlist, so as of like 24 hours ago, he is still kicking around. But it could have been his last, with his last breath and last little bodily function, he's clicked through to YouTube and adjusted the playlist ever so slightly. So guys, until next time, I will see you later. Bye.